One moment. Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and you're welcome to
Good
this
evening.
little presentation of mine, which is going to help you in automating your citations in your project. It actually takes a lot of our time when you have to, do some to record all your citations and also put them at the end of your work. When you do it, the PhD is actually laden with a lot of. So in between, I'll actually be admitting people. So I'm sorry about that. So the PhD is actually laden with a lot of citations, and at the end of the day, you see that most of your time is wasted more on the citations. So and then the lecture we had also yesterday. Oh, sorry, I'm not recording again. Andrew, are you recording?
I'm recording. I'm recording.
Oh, great. Okay, let me just leave it then. Let me leave it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the one moment. Sorry, I'm getting old, so okay. So it takes a lot of time and effort also to do all those citations and references. So I think it's a bit it's good for us to do some kind of to learn the automation of that, so that we can easily we can dedicate more time on the research rather than a lot of time on citations. As the lecturer, Dr. Martin, said yesterday, um, sometimes if they say maybe you are doing upper and your supervisor says no, what I need is what are the other ones? I don't know. Well, I need another
Harvard
one.
system.
For you, which one?
Harvard.
Harvard. Okay. At the end of the day, you will now start. First of all, you have to go and learn about Harvard. See how where is it surname first? Is there a comma? Is there a? I mean, it's a lot of problem. So you don't. I think we should dedicate less time to that and dedicate more time to the research work. So, Microsoft Word has given us some kind of leverage already in the Microsoft Word document processor. We have already some yeah, tool that will help us to do that kind of the referencing. So, what I normally do when I'm doing my referencing, in fact, the last time I did plagiarism test, I got 7%. So please trust what I am doing. 7% is quite good. So what I normally do when I pick up a document and find some that it's useful, what I do is to register it. So if you look at your Microsoft Word, are you seeing my screen?
Sure, we are.
Great. So if you look at Microsoft Word, if you open a new Microsoft Word document, you will see references. So there is a file, there is a home, there is insert. Down the line, you will see referencing or references. When you click on it, there is a small part here that you have um, citation and bibliography. That is where we're going to, dwell on. Maybe another time I'll show you how to do automated table of contents. But for today, in order to focus ourselves, to give ourselves a scope, we're going to do more of citation. Great. So I I'll go to a website. Allow me to stop sharing this screen and go to a website first to get something. Let me share my website. Go ahead. Stop sharing. I'll go to a website, maybe a World Bank or whatever. World World Bank economics, whatever. Economic outlook. Okay. So I open this guy. Okay. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. So assuming I went to a World Bank website and I got this particular whatever, a particular quote from there, which I'm going to copy. I'm actually just copying it. Um, I'll go to my Microsoft Office. I'll paste it here and come back to that again. I'll actually copy this because so I know the fields, so I'm just copying the relevant information so that I'll put it there. Um, I'll go back. This is the way the URL I'm putting here. I'll come here, put it. I'll also look at maybe the date of. Is there any date here? There's no date. Okay, all other ones we are going to assume, right? I'm going to admit someone now. Sorry. Mustafa, you're welcome. Okay, so I'll share again. Stop sharing. I'll share the Microsoft Word. At least you saw where I copied this document, right? This is it. So what I normally do, any website or book or whatever that I see that I want to include in my work, I come to references, I record it there. Sorry, we're going to have some distractions. Ahmad, you're welcome. So many people will be joining, and I'm the one admitting them. Please forgive me for going back and forth. Okay, so going back again, I copied this from this website. Oh, God, they're coming again. I don't know how to make somebody to be admitting people. I would have made Andrew to be doing that.
Co-host. Co-host.
Yeah, so, you know, Google Meet is a bit free, so I don't know how to. There are some things that they didn't implement. Okay, so let me just go on then. But please expect that I'll be going up and down on that. Okay, so what I normally do, so I copied this from this website and I want to reference it. So normally when I pick up a book or a website or whatever that I find that it's is useful to my work, I come here, I do a manage sources. Okay, let me go back again. This is file, home, insert. There's this tab that is called references. And when you go to references, you'll see this portion that is citation and bibliography, which you have managed sources, right? So I now click on the manage sources and click on a new. So it gives me various fields. If you open here under type of source, there are lots of different sources. You have a book, you have a book section, you have an article, you have periodical conference proceedings, report, website, art, and so on. So they're basically every source that you could get, um, references from, including miscellaneous, which you can, assuming it's all these ones do not fit your purpose, you can select miscellaneous. However, for the sake of this work, we're going to cite a website. Now, when you click on a website, you can see that the fields are different from a book. Let me take a book. You can see a book has author, corporate author, title, year, city, and publisher. But right now, what we're going to use is a website, which I copied from, right? I'm citing from. Um, if you look at it, it's a World Bank source.
Gigi, please, can you ask Mr. Ibrahim Ahmad to mute his, because it's falling back, there's giving echo. Ibrahim
Okay,
Ahmad should mute his.
Ibrahim Ahmad. I'll meet him myself. Doris Joseph. Ibrahim Ahmad. Have you muted yourself? Even Hassan Peter. Hassan Peter is there. I'm going to mute him too. Mute. Andrew is my assistant here. An emergency, I just I'll mute you too. Thank you. Uh, okay, I think everybody is muted. Okay, great, great guys. Okay, so I have this guy. So the reference we are going to do now is from a website. So the author, sorry, I didn't get that, but I have a friend in the class, Ahmad Tijani. Let's say he is the author, Tijani. Okay, so if you look below here, you see it actually gives you an example of what a guide rather on what you need to do. So if you look at there are two authors here, Kramer James and Chenjaki. So if you look at carefully, you see that in between them you have a semicolon. So Ahmad Tijani, I'll put a semicolon, and then put Andrew. Sorry, Andrew, what's your surname? Andrew.
Odeh. Ode.
Andrew, unmute and tell me,
Yep.
please.
Ode.
Ode. So I have two authors for this. It's a website. So if it's a corporate organization, for example, maybe a World Bank, that does not, okay, it has not maybe listed somebody, particular person that has not that has written um, that piece, then you can actually do it as a corporate author. So you list the organization, right? So if I go back to the website name is actually World Bank, right? Oh, sorry, the web page. Web page is, I'll check it. I'll not show it to you, please, because I have to switch screens, so I don't want to do that. here we have the name of that web page is a second year of sharply showing growth, whatever it means. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry. Global economic prospects. I'm copying it. I'm going back to my Microsoft Word document. So the name of the web page, there's a website, and then websites also have web pages. In a website, you have pages, different pages. So the name of this page actually is Global Economic Prospects. And then, sorry, let me add somebody in. Somebody just came in. Sorry, I'll be doing that. Admit all. So guys, you're welcome. Okay, so websites have pages. The website is actually World Bank. It's a World Bank website, World Bank. The year, let me just assume a year, 20, maybe 15, a month. Normally, if you look carefully at the write-up, you actually see the month and the year and the day, and many websites actually normally put dates to their publications. So you can just copy from there. If you look very well, you'll see it. So month, let's call it January. And of course, look very carefully. Sorry, look very carefully. Under here, they give you an example of how you fill in that particular field. So day, let's say 15th. The URL then is I copied it before. I hope it's still there. Oh God. Okay, sure. Sorry about that. I'll copy it now. Copy. Go back to Microsoft Word. I'll paste it here and say OK. So if you look on this side, I've added a document that was written by Tijani Ahmad and Ode Andrew, and it's whatever. All the details are there. And before we started that, I actually copied this from the website, assuming that it's Ahmad Tijani and Andrew that wrote it. So if you go to insert citation, remember I said when you go to references at the top here, file home, blah blah blah, you come here, you get references. You click on manage sources, you do a new, and then add all these fields. You can have a book section, a journal, conference proceedings, and whatever. So it gives you different fields. God, new people are coming. Guys, you're going to please excuse me because I'll be adding people. People are coming late. Okay, so now remember we added Tijani Ahmad and Andrew Ode. So this came from them, and of course, normally when you have a long citation like this, you do an indent. So here I've indented this, and now I'm adding Ahmad, Tijani, and Ode. So the good thing about this is, if you look closely, you see the style is upper. So this now the computer has configured it in upper, and assuming just like the lecturer Dr. Martin was saying yesterday, assuming you went to your supervisor and he says, no, this is not what I want, just come click here and say, I need Chicago. It will change it. So you can see in Chicago now it has Tijani and Ode 2015. Let me go back again to upper. Upper. sixth edition. I think we're supposed to be using seventh edition.
Seventh.
If you look at Tijani ampersand Ode, so you don't need to go and start typing again how Tijani. I mean the way you reference for APA and also the way you reference for Chicago. So there are so many other um, there's ISO, the MLA, and whatever. Different organizations actually use different formats. But I think for us, we normally use an APA. So this is what we're going to use. So we've quoted this. Now, sometimes you you will say Tijani 2015 viewed Boko Haram as a blah 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 blah. I can't even spell blah blah. Oh my goodness. Blah blah blah. Right? So now let's add a book by Tijani somewhere. Manage sources again. I go to new. This time around it's a book, it's not a website. I go to a book. Author is Awad Tijani. Why I'm using Ahmad Tijani is that he always takes me up on private chats, so I want to deal with him here. Boko Haram in the northeastern region of Nigeria. That's the title of the book, which he has not written yet, but I'm giving him an assignment. It will be 2025. City, it will be published in Abuja, Nigeria. Publisher will be Datong Limited, LTD. So I'm adding I'm adding Ahmad's book right now. You can see it here. So before I forget, you can see there are two books. One has been cited already. There's a good on it. That means it has been applied already in the book. As I told you earlier, normally when I just get a book, I pick it up and record it because I know that I may actually have something to be cited from that book. So this good beside Amat and Ode shows that this has actually been cited within the document. But this one, I just recorded it and it's not cited yet. So so Tijani 2015 viewed Boko Haram as blah, 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 blah. Now, so I'll go to insert citation. I'll put Tijani Ahmad. Remember that we had this one before. You can reuse it also. So I'm adding this. Now, if you look at, it shows Tijani and then Tijani in the bracket already in the upper style, Tijani, which is the surname, and then the year of publication. If you go, so what you want here is only the date. So you just go here, click on this small arrow and do an edit citation. What you don't want is the author. You don't want the author. You want the Tijani to go. You click on that. And then you also don't want the title to appear. You only want the year. So you do an OK. So you can actually put a page. Let's say it's page 79. My friend will not write up to 79 pages. He will write 25. So 79, page 79. So we say an OK. So you can see now, it's not shown shown us that Tijani 2025 page 27 viewed Boko Haram as blah 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 blah. Sometimes also you may find that you have issues. Maybe it's not putting it very well. Maybe the way you recorded it, the surname was not the first, or you were not able to separate the two authors correctly, and so on. You can just click on the same button and do an edit source. It still opens this for you. Maybe you have you're supposed to have two people. Let me put Ronke Aderonke. I don't forget her husband name. Aderonke somebody. Oh, most Yoruba names are O. So Aderonke O. Surname first, then you put a comma, and then the other names. Okay, so I've corrected that. It's asking me this source exists. This source exists in your master list and your current document. Do you want to update both list and this with these changes? Yes. So now I can say Tijani and Ronke 20 blah 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 viewed Boko Haram as blah 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 blah. Also, if I go now, edit citation, I don't want to suppress the author and title. I want to open it, see the way it wrote it. So it gives you a lot of flexibility of how to do it, rather than going back every time to change the way it is. I go back again. I want to change it to Chicago. Chicago, you can see the difference now. It has an and rather than an ampersand. Okay, I go back to APA because that's what we normally use. Okay, so you can do this to a multiple of sources that you are getting. Let me go back again to show you the sources because some people actually came late. The sources are book section, journal, article, periodicals, reports, website, document from website, electronic source, art, and blah, blah, blah. All of them are there. So good. So now, when you finish this, finish everything, what you just need to do is to insert your references. So I'll go to this bibliography. Is it bibliography that you want? Is it references or whatever? So I'll now say insert. You click it here, and you'll see that you have your references automatically. And well, so let's do it again. If you go to Chicago, assuming you go meet your supervisor and you say, no, I don't need, what I told you was Chicago, not APA. So what you just need to do is just come back to your document and change it to Chicago. You can see it has changed everything. So you don't need to worry about your citation. You just need to worry more about your research. What else have I not said? So generally, I think that is what we're required to do. Do I have any questions?
My leader, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, my question is, do we put page number in the quotation?
Yeah, so I know some people normally quote page numbers. So if you have page numbers, APA also knows that you want to cite a page number. So it gives you a way to do that. But I think for most of our write-ups, normally we don't put page numbers. So you can decide not to put it. But if you decide at a point that you don't need to put page number, you can just go back, edit citation, remove the page number, suppress author, suppress title, Okay, that's all. So it depends on what you want to do.
Okay,
And
thanks.
then come here, you can update yours. Let me see. Okay, this guy does, who has a page number? Okay, there is even no page number. Can update. Okay, so another thing I need to say is if you add a source, okay, so assuming you have some other thing, um, hmm, Tijani Ahmad was born in 1941. Was instrumental to the first first World War. TJ, today you are in trouble. So I have this guy now. Now, assuming assuming I did not, I had this, and I had not recorded it, I can just say, okay, add a new source. Already there is a point where it is. I'll just say add a new source. I'll call it Adolphus. Adolphus is also my friend. Adolphus, I'd forgotten his name, his surname. Oh, title of the book: World War Two or One. Here is let me add somebody. Abdul is late already. We can't go back. Year is 1973. 23. City is Chicago. Publisher is Moses Ltd. Right? So if I click on OK here, it will insert it. Oh, okay, good. In fact, this is a very good example. It will insert it. So if you look at here, let me go and edit it again. Remember I said you can click on this arrow and do, so it, instead of the name now, it has an O because I had Adolphus O. So it's wrong because I won't do a referencing like this. So I'll go back to edit citation. It's no, edit source rather. Edit source rather. So I'll now put, if you can look at it, you see that it's O, comma, Adolphus. But now I'll write it as Adolphus, comma, O, dot. I'll say an OK. It asked me these questions. I said OK. So you can see now Adolphus O. Great. So sometimes also you can register a book. You add a source. Let me see somebody that I can add here now. Idris, Isa Idris. Isa Idris wrote a book, and you recorded it. At the end of the day, you didn't use it. So Isa Idris. Isa is the surname. Isa Omar Idris. Right. Um, what's this thing that Gudaji Kazore is? That's what's that thing that Gudaji, stamp duty, stamp duty, stamp duty controversy. Sorry, let me add somebody. Stamp duty controversy, right? He wrote a book on that controversy. Year is 2023. City is Abuja. Sorry, 2023. City is Abuja. City of publication is Abuja. Publisher is somebody's somebody's press.
Government
Somebody's
press.
press limited. Okay, so so you have this. If you look at the only one that is not marked as good as used in the document is Isa Idris. Now, if you go here, if you update your references, click on it and update the references, you find out that Isa Idris is here, but you did not use him. So if somebody goes through, he will not see wherever you recorded him. So ordinarily, what you would do is you can go through your current list and see whichever one that you did not use, just remove it, close it. So if I do an update, he's no longer here. So I think generally that is all that I have to say here. If there are any questions, I can answer.
An observation, sir.
Yes, please.
You said we can remove the book that we did not use. I thought in referencing the book might be relevant to the topic, but I did not use it. But I can put it in the reference so that another what do you call reader can cite the book somewhere. So is it
Okay.
not better we leave it as part of the references?
Okay, sure. That's correct. So um, I'm not speaking now as an expert, but as what I have heard somewhere, bibliography normally is all the list of all books that you consulted, whether you cited them or not. Then please don't take this as an instruction because I'm not an expert in this, please. But this is what I learned somewhere. You need to verify this before you take it as um, good knowledge. So from
Bibliography,
what
you are
I
right.
learned, it's correct, right?
Yes, correct.
Bibliography is all the books that you have consulted, but references are those that you actually cited in your work. So if you're actually doing a bibliography, then you can leave all those books. But if you're doing referencing only, then you have to remove all those books, or else somebody will go through your references and find some books that you have not referenced in your write-up. So I think since I have a collaborator here, I think that is correct then because I've learned that. So in case you have a need to remove books, that is a way to remove it. If you don't have a need to do that, then you don't have to remove it. Am I good?
A hand is raised, Mr. Desmond.
Oh, oh, Desmond. Yeah, since we're not many, we can just talk actually. Desmond, please go ahead, please. Desmond, unmute yourself and talk. Oh, unmute yourself and talk, Desmond. Okay, so I'll assume he might not be willing to talk. Is there anything that I said that is not very clear so that I can make it clearer?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Very well. I want to just appreciate you for bringing this up at a very timely. It's very timely, actually, considering all the assignments we have. and I've been
Mhm.
wondering how to do this referencing without having to write them down and then start typing. So I really want to appreciate you, sir, and
Thank you, sir.
I've learned a lot from this. God
Thank you,
bless you.
sir. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Yeah. Somebody raised a hand before. Uh, okay. Ahmad, Ibrahim Ahmad, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Datong, or Scholar Datong, for sharing
Thank
this
you, sir.
wonderful knowledge and idea. Scholar Datong, of course.
Okay, thanks.
My little area of concern is in a situation whereby there is multiple author book.
Yeah,
How do you reference it? Maybe 4 authors or 3 authors.
no problem. No problem. Let's go back. So I did that before you came in, but I'll go back to
Okay.
the place again.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say this book that was written by Ronke and Tijani. Don't mind me, I
Okay.
like to call Tijani because he's. So let's go back. Edit source. Oh no no. So let's go. I think let's do a
Me
fresh.
from
Let's do a fresh thing so that people will learn.
it's everybody.
Okay, I'll meet everybody now. Mute. Okay, that's all. Okay, so I'll go back to Microsoft Word now. Assuming the I learned this from 4 authors. Um, the Nigerian come on, Nigerian defense is it SOC sef? Defense Academy has produced 5,078 doctors in the last 15 years. So this requires a citation because maybe I did not do the research by myself. So I'll go back here. Remember, I have my cursor at the end of this place. Two ways I can do it. I can just add a source. It will do it right there. I can also go here and add a source and do a new source. Now it's a book that is written by Ibrahim. Sorry, I've forgotten the surname again. Ibrahim Ahmad.
Ahmad.
Ahmad. So it's written by Ibrahim Ahmad. Ibrahim, which is the surname, I hope. Ahmad, but don't worry about that. Ahmad. So I'll put a semicolon, right? I'll put my friend again, Tijani. He writes a lot of books in his head. Tijani Ahmad again. I'll write again. I'll put a semicolon. Okay, sorry. Before I forget, normally the surname, after the surname, you put a comma, and of course, it's not rocket science. If you look under here, you'll see the example: surname, comma, other names, and then semicolon, and then the next person. So, and then Rotimi, Rotimi, surname. Okay, Rotimi, I don't forget your surname. Oh.
It's Amechi
Rotimi,
now.
Yeah?
At least you know Amechi now. You don't forget my
No,
name.
no, it's not Amechi that I want. It's you. You.
Okay. Sadiq.
Rotimi. Sadiq. Yo, Sadiq. Rotimi. So I have three people. Remember, the surname has a comma before the other names. Surname has a comma. Then in between the writers, you have a semicolon. That's how the computer, gets to understand the difference between the three authors. If you want to add another column,
I don't care. I don't care.
Aderonke. What's her surname again, sir? Aderonke. Um, I don't forget her
Right,
name.
right, Olana, Yoba is in our own.
Every Yoruba na Ola. No, her name is Aderonke now. So we put Ola, comma, Aderonke. Good. So we have four authors here. What book did they write? The contribution of NDA to scholarly learning, whatever. Don't mind me.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this book since 1980, before Aderonke was born. City. It was published in Abuja before it was made the capital. Publisher, let me put my name, that one.
That one press.
Press. So I do an OK. I close it. Remember, I still want to say it again, that because we have not cited the book, there is no good around it, right? So I'll close it. So now I want to cite that book. This thing, I got it from that book, although I paraphrased it. So it's not exactly how it is in that book. So I now click here. I'll look and see Ibrahim Ahmad, Tijani Ahmad, Rotimi Sadiq, et al. So I'll add it here. So you can see I didn't have to type it. The first author, and then comma, which is the surname, and then et al. 1980. If I come here, assuming I don't want to use a Chicago again, I went to my supervisor and said, "No, I told you, it's Upper, not Chicago." Then I'll just come back. No, don't worry, sir. Don't worry, sir. I'm going to change it. I'll come here and just change it to Upper, and see the way Upper presents its own. So I think this clears that. Of course, there are other formats also. Turabian, we see also here. Turabian, I think it's okay. Turabian is like I think it's the same with Chicago. Turabian and Chicago are the same.
Don't confuse us.
Don't
Stay
quote me.
within
Don't quote,
the Chicago and Apao.
don't quote me. Oh. Okay, so that is that. So can Ibrahim, does that clear your doubts?
Yes, it's clear, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your knowledge.
Is there any other question? If there's none, I would
Yes,
like to
Dr.
thank you. Yes, please. Go
Dr.
ahead.
Tango, can you hear me now? This is Desmond.
Yes, sure. Sure, sure. Yes,
Okay.
Desmond.
Yes, first and foremost, thank you for this opportunity you're giving us, and I think I've learned a lot also. There's this method that's within the text. You always see numbers written at the end of the quotation. What actually is this type? Then at the end, maybe footnote, you write the numbers 1, 2, 3, depending on how many numbers you have quoted in the text. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so um,
At the end
I
of the quotation, you write a name, you write a number, as in one, a figure. One,
okay.
then another one,
So
you write two. Yes.
yeah, so I don't want to go through that. However, because I know what you're talking about, I'm
Yes.
going to show you that. But
Okay.
because I did not prepare for that in this,
Okay.
I may not be able to answer a lot of questions on that.
Okay. No problem.
However,
I can see you and
it,
maybe
Yeah, that's
one on
also
one on
yeah,
good.
Friday or
Footnote now.
Saturday.
but it's still the same
Uh,
thing. You know, footnotes
when you apply
normally
footnote,
come at the
that's
end of
footnote.
your page,
Yes.
at the footer.
Mm.
So your footer is almost, when you double click on the end of your this thing, that's where the footer is. That's where also
Yes.
your page number comes in.
Yeah.
Um, please don't ask me deep questions on that because I didn't prepare for that. However,
Okay. No problem.
assuming this portion of the text you want to put
Yes.
a one, so
Yes.
you still go to referencing,
Yeah.
go to, just a minute, insert footnote. You can see it here. Insert
Yes.
footnote. Now, um, if you do insert a footnote under here, oh, come on, I'm coming. Insert a footnote. Insert footnote. So you can see at the end of the page. So let me just go back again. This is the page. At the
Yeah.
end of the page, you have this. So you can type whatever you want to type
Okay.
here. So in this case, normally
Hello.
the format of writing, it's just a note. So
Yes.
I don't know whether this normally, the footnotes normally have a certain format. I don't know. But if you go, if wherever you want to put it, you can type whatever. So if you go to the next one, assuming you want to, maybe here again, you want to now put another footnote, go again, insert footnote. Um, sorry, one moment. Ah, okay, we have this. In the same page, we have another insert footnote. You see a two here, type another one.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Good. Another
Okay.
footnote again. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
do that.
Thanks.
You can
Yeah.
see one, two, you can put another three, insert
Yeah.
footnote again, it gives you a three, you write it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So that's how to do that.
Okay. No, the footnote can even take both upper and Chicago. Depends on what you want.
Yeah, but in this
Yes.
case, I actually don't know how to automate it. So you
Mm.
have to manually type it in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
sure.
Thank
Thanks. Great to have
Hello,
you,
sir.
Oriba.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
please. Ariba.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Just a rider on Mr. Desmond's contribution. I
Yeah,
think I've
sure.
seen that in several journals I read where they put figures one, two, and so three, and so. But what I realized that most of those figures they refer you to the referencing. So if they
Okay.
put one, when you go to the reference page, that one is the first reference, the first
Okay.
reference
Okay.
on the page. So
Okay.
once you click on it, it will now give you the details of those references. That's what I've
Oh,
seen from some articles I've read. Anyway,
oh, okay. Great. Great. Great.
thank you, sir.
Let me even see if we update the reference. Let me see what happens with these things that we did. Where is the reference again now? Sorry. So the reference is here. If we update this reference, what does it do? Okay, so it doesn't update that particular one. I actually don't use footnotes, but my friend Alex normally uses it very well. So because in Microsoft Word is actually you actually type them manually. If there's a way to type them to do them automatically, honestly, I don't know. Okay, so in the absence of any other question or request for clarification, I would like to call it a day. If you also want me to give you some, um, I mean, ideas on how to format your document, we can have another day to do that. Sometimes the table of contents, you have to now start looking manually which one is on this page and whatever to do it. That also takes a lot of your time. Instead of using your time to do your research, you're wasting more time trying to format your table of contents. So I can actually help to work on that, to give you some knowledge transfer on that, so that you can format your work and then insert your um, table of contents automatically. We can get another time so that we don't extend this to be so long. Maybe we'll end that. If you want us to have that, we can have it another day. Isa Idris, please go ahead.
All right. And thank you so much for the presentation. We really appreciate you taking time out of your weekend after classes to do this for us. We
Yes,
really
please.
appreciate.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, so please, I just want clarification about the assignment that Dr. Martins gave us yesterday.
Hey,
I really,
wow.
yes, I don't know about others, but I'm not very clear. I know there were flyers sent. I don't know exactly. If you have any idea, please, can you share?
Okay, so I will say what I know, and then anybody that has something that to add, probably he can do that. So if you remember yesterday, what we were treating actually was um, the how to present information to different classes of people. So what he said was that sometimes you have a research, you're presenting it to somebody. At the end of the day, it's not really used because they don't really understand the format. So every organization has its format of presentation that it understands very well. So what we are required to do is those flyers that you have, if you look at I'm trying to open the document now. If you look at your what is allocated to you, you find that you have the sector or something. Can't remember the headings again. You have a sector, and then you also have the flyer number. The flyer number is not very clear. So if you were to do flyer number 1 and you are to present it to the media, what is expected of you is for you to present the information on that flyer to a media organization, right? Because what you are presenting, for example, for an academia is not the same as what you would provide um, for the press or also to government. Because if you present something like ontology and whatever to government, it will be boring to them, right? So what you're providing to government should have a certain format. So what you are required to do is to look at that document and then present it in a format um, that your audience, which is specified in that document, will understand it and then adopt it. What he was saying during that was, so I'll open this document now. What he was saying was that a lot of research is done, but uh, people, the target does not really normally use it. So what is really the problem? So the problem is, according to him, it's presented in a format that he doesn't understand. I mean that the user doesn't understand. So like Rini Adiza now in SSS, whose number is blah 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 blah, phone number is this, email is supposed to review those flyer mentioned as number one. She will represent the information on that flyer to government. The
So
same flyer.
is she going to write it as a paper with so many
Yes,
pages, or
yes.
okay?
He gave us a format, introduction. Does anybody remember it? There is introduction and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
You can check the format. I don't have it here, but she is going to do it in a form that government will understand. This the Lawrence Aliu Duke Dan, the same assignment one, but he present it for the media, so that those that are connected to the media will understand. The same flyer, um, Azike, Chubike, Fimba will present it to a user organization. The same flyer, Aminu Ibrahim is going to rewrite it in a form that an end user will understand it. So not everybody really understands exactly in every format. So there's a way you present um, information to government. There's a way you present it to media. There's a way you present it to a user organization, whatever it means. Also to end users. So if you look through, you find out that it's a repetition of those users of that information throughout. So that's what I actually understand by that. But what is not very clear on that, in that, on the flyers, remember there are flyers. What is not
Yes, they're
clear is
yeah,
that
there are
the
33
flyers are
flyers.
not numbered. So I don't know which one is number one, number two. There are actually 33 of them.
That is 33, yeah.
So each one actually belongs to one or two people, which corresponds to these numbers. This is flyer 18, LSS 18. Okay, see, this guy now is doing the flyer 33. About how many of them? Two of them are doing flyer 33. So I think Tony said he's going to talk to him so that he can get the numbering of each of the flyers. So I guess what we need to do is to find out how information is passed to the media, to government, to user organizations, and also end user, so that you can communicate your research very well. So I think, am I clear? If anybody has any addition, please.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
yeah. Thank you. So are we expected, sorry, just one more question. Are we expected to write maybe a paper, right, like 20 pages that communicates to that target audience?
Alambaram. Alambaram. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Thank
actually,
you so
okay, he
much.
didn't specify. I was in class, he didn't specify the number of pages, but he gave us a format. He
Okay,
gave us a
okay.
format. Sorry, let me just pull up something from my notes.
I
Which
know
one?
something about structure, plagiarism, and all those things.
Very good. That's the only thing he gave us. So you're just going to present that same information to that audience. That's it.
Okay, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Good day,
much.
Good day, my leader.
Musti Yani, how far?
Hey, well, sir, thank you so much for the effort, sir. It
Thank you,
has really
sir.
gone a long way.
Thank you, sir.
A quick one, sir. So, if he hasn't clearly said what we are going to do with the information given to us, I think there's someone like you should guide us. we don't know with these flyers, 33 flyers and the 3 guide he gave us. What next?
Musti, I'm
Yes,
not a
sir.
lecturer. I'm just an.
Okay.
I just have. I'm just. I have like 20 years experience in IT, and I
Okay.
felt I needed to, give you some information, and that's
Oh,
what I'm
okay,
giving.
okay.
I don't know
It's
anything
okay.
about that assignment. I'm also
All
going to
right.
struggle like you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Desmond,
Yes,
Desmond, please.
yes.
Yes.
I want to just make a contribution on the flyer. I think what I understood is that irrespective of how many pages it would come out to be, what matters is to follow those formats where introduction, the structure. So at the end, it might be 10, it might be 5, it might be 6 or 7. But what
Yeah.
matters again is the audience. Like
Correct.
you have rightly said,
Correct.
how is a media going to understand what is in that flyer? Just pick up one of them that belongs to you. And
Correct.
how is the government going to understand it? That's okay.
Exactly.
So when you get those formats, it will guide you as you are writing it. Where is an NGO going to understand maybe a topic on COVID? Topic on COVID, how is government going to understand it? How is the media going to understand it? So
Exactly.
when you follow those formats, it will be going down as you are going and taking each of the formats as it is. It's actually not much problem if we just take it bit by
Oh
bit,
yeah. Yes. Sure.
ensuring
Correct.
that the audience you
Thank
want.
you, Desmond.
Yeah. So how can government, because government will be interested in maybe the money they will spend, is this hospital, or
Exactly.
then the
Exactly.
media will be looking at sensation, how they will put it out there, people to understand. The NGO being more of philanthropic and all those things, so they will also understand it that way. So that's just the understanding. That's what he wants you. I think he wants us to
Correct.
know.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think that's
really
also
any.
what I understand by it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I
Thank you.
understand by it. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Enenche. Eneche. Sorry. Eneche. Abdul, go ahead, please, sir. Eneche, you're muted. You're muted. Eneche, just
You
click.
cannot you
Yeah.
cannot mute him now.
Unmute your. No, no, I
Maybe
cannot. I can. I can mute him, but I cannot unmute him.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He must mute himself.
Yes, he must. Ibrahim Ahmad, go ahead, please. There are not so many, so we can
Okay,
just
sir.
talk. Yeah.
All right. Okay, my little question about this flyer assignment is that is it in relation to that summative assignment that
Okay.
Dr. Caroline gave us? She said we should submit it by the
What
30th of
about
January. Are they related?
They are not
Because I
related.
remember that she made mention of taking any article to review it. In fact, are they related? He made mention of reviewing an article
No,
with the
they are
No,
not
they
understanding
are
of
not
related.
a
related.
particular
They
group.
are
They are
not
not
related.
related.
They are not related. Okay.
that
Yeah,
is
they are
rubbish
not
he's telling
related.
me. He said he's giving me my pen today. What is he
All
telling
right.
about figures
So,
after
so
one week?
Okay. Thank
the
you.
Caroline summative is more of getting a
So what has he done since?
certain
Since now?
publication. Sorry, I'm going to mute you.
Tell him I want my verification. I need it.
Great, great. You've muted yourself. So the Caroline, this thing is to
Go
assignment
and
is
get
to
it.
get
Quote it, write it, and send me WhatsApp. Now
an
let me see. I'm busy.
article, you review it, you review it, I mean, the philosophical approach. So you talk about the ontology, you talk about the epistemology, you talk about the what's that value? The value. There's one word for it. I'm not a researcher like that. Yeah. So you discuss the 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 article based on the philosophical perspective of the research, which is ontology, epistemology, what's that? The theory of value, what's that again?
Axiology.
Methodology, and axiology.
Axiology.
So you just discuss based on that. Yeah. So it's not the same with this at all. Okay, so I think in the absence of any other information or clarification on what I intended to present, I would like to thank you people for joining me in this, and wish you a very wonderful evening. If you really want me to give you also some tutorial on how to organize your work, doing the table of content automatically, which also takes a lot of your time, I will make time to give you that. But for now, I think we need to call it a day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, scholar.
Thank you, sir.